Hello everyone, welcome to Wealthy Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about good debt versus bad debt, personal finance. If you're new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about Robert Kiyosaki's most interesting lessons, and here's the next one right now. In this video, we talk about how to tell the difference between good debt and bad debt and how to turn them into something useful. Isn't that a great topic to talk about? Then let's start now. Let's get right into it. There are a lot of individuals out there who call themselves financial gurus, and most of them, like Robert Kiyosaki, advise us to lead lives free of any and all debt. Some of them even suggest that it is beneficial to get rid of credit cards, which is sound advice for a certain category of individuals. If Robert is unable to manage your costs, he believes that you should get rid of your credit cards immediately. Yet, Robert cannot fathom how individuals manage their lives without credit cards. However, if you're a shopping addict, the entrepreneur continues to insist that you must get rid of your credit cards. Robert said that there is good debt and bad debt. If you have bad debt, for example, a student loan, it is classified as bad debt. The main reason why it is so bad is that it is the worst that is possible. He doesn't know how to give up hotels, renting cars, or having dinner at a restaurant. Kiyosaki provides a straightforward reason for this, stating that a deceased businessman can easily declare bankruptcy and be released. However, the issue with student debts is that you cannot do the same. You will be burdened by debt for the rest of your life. Therefore, if you are a student, you should not get a student loan until you're certain that you will graduate, asserts Robert. He believes that many of us are acquainted with instances of persons who drop out of school. The issue with student loans is that a person must know exactly what he will study until the very finish. Robert has two companions. They are both physicians. These men graduated from college with a debt of $500,000, but they paid it off in 5 years due to their high-paying employment prior to raising a family and settling down. Their major objective was to repay the college debts that enabled them to become physicians. There is no question in the author's mind that every one of us knows folks who just do not know what they want to accomplish. Robert has previously informed us that when he was 18 years old, his peers made around $120 each year. It's not much now, but for his generation, it was an outstanding achievement. Even if a person made $20,000 per year at that time, it was still a substantial amount of money. Robert's starting pay was $47,000, but his peers would earn 3 times that amount. Robert stresses that this is a question of individual decision. He just did not want to participate in their activities. He was not required to join a union, but he did not want to join this group. Consequently, Robert became a delivery officer to Standard Oil of California. He was not required to join a union. The distinction was that the business owner, he barely made $47,000 each year. Well, there's always a cost, Robert continued. When you're younger, it's difficult to distinguish between being 22 and being younger. It didn't matter if they paid him $100,000 a year, he refused to join the union on principle. According to Gaia, everything is more complex these days since we do not know what kind of jobs pay well. Robert asserts that even attorneys are experiencing difficulty due to market saturation. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Many high-end occupations in this industry are now being replaced by artificial intelligence. Robert believes that they don't need an accountant since artificial intelligence can undertake the majority of the job prior to taking out his first school debt. Our generation must evaluate if we will complete the studies we began. Then Robert addressed the primary theme of good and bad debt. He depicted income, spending, assets, and obligations in a diagram. Suppose you want to own a home. Robert asserts that you are mistaken about your home's value. Your house is an obligation, regardless of whether you have debts or not. Your home is a liability. Similarly, if you own a vehicle, it is a burden. Robert continued by stating that there are 6 essential terms in financial education. These include cash flow, income, spending, assets, and liabilities. The average individual is employed. Work-related earnings are allocated to liabilities by way of a mortgage when we pay for the home. The money goes to the bank. Ultimately, money is not an asset since it is spent. It's a detriment. It deducts funds from your account. On the other hand, assets put money in your pocket. Therefore, if you have rental property as an asset, it will generate income. Even if you don't have mortgage arrears, owning a home is a responsibility since you must pay for taxes, repairs, upkeep, and insurance. A positive debt occurs when a person lends something that becomes an asset that generates income, such as when a person owns a car and rents it to Uber drivers who also make money. Robert's boat is shared with his wife. He believes that most boats are not profitable, but this one is due to its numerous rentals. Cash flow and student loans are the two most critical words from this presentation to remember. All of this can be summed into two words. Monetary flow: if money enters your pocket, it is an asset and a positive debt. But if it departs, it is a dreadful debt. This is particularly true for successful employees and company owners. According to Robert, you must be responsible for the direction of financial flow. Numerous people labor, yet their profits are taxed away by the government. Robert specifically mentioned his acquaintance, Donald Trump, since he and him are both tax evaders. It is one of the main reasons why Kiyosaki and Trump are company owners as opposed to employees. Entrepreneurs pay taxes, but they are also one of the asset groups highlighted at the end of his presentation. He comes to the conclusion that credit cards are nothing to be afraid of if you know how to use them right. Can credit cards be a good way to borrow money? It depends on what you plan to do with the money. If you plan to use the money to buy an asset that will make you money, it's a good debt. If you spend it on a Versace jacket though, it's not. Bad debt costs you money, while good debt puts money in your pocket. Robert draws the conclusion that if you are aware of how to properly use credit cards, you have nothing to worry about. Can credit card debt be beneficial? It is dependent on how you want to put the money to use. It is a good debt if you intend to use it for something that creates money as an asset. But it is not a good debt if you spend it on a Versace jacket instead of investing it in something that will provide revenue. The right kind of debt puts cash in your pocket, while the wrong kind of debt makes you responsible for charges. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye.